Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Rama Hare Hare Shri Purushottam Maas Ki Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So पुनः एक बार इस
Hare Krishna. So once more we are here together in this pious Purushottam month and taking the shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, and from the pages of Padma Puran we are listening to the glories of this Purushottam month and how to observe this month. So we all have been listening to the same, and today from Padma Puran we are going to listen to the 21st chapter from the same. Shri Sud Goswami tells the sages of Naimisharanya about the glories of the Purushottam month and the beautiful pastimes related to the same. So previously we have heard the pastimes of Yudhishthira Maharaj from Sud Goswami, which presented the glories of this Purushottam month. Then we heard the pastime of Draupadi Mata, where we also heard the glorification of the Purushottam month. Then he also spoke about the pastime of Dhanva king, in which also the glories of this Purushottam month were seen. So, while concluding this Dhanva's character, he just added one point, as you have heard yesterday, that it is so glorious, it is so magnificent that a monkey who just took a bath on 3 days in this month and he attained the abode of the Lord. Although in his life he was supposed to suffer for his grave sins, it was his providence to suffer, but he got this great benevolence opportunity that he attained the abode of the Lord. So when Sud Goswami concluded in the 20th chapter thus, then in the 21st chapter, the sages like Shaunak, etc., who all are sitting in Naimisharanya to listen. So although there were 88,000 sages, but of these 88,000 sages, Shaunak Rishi was their chief, that you are going to ask questions on our behalf. Because if we all ask questions together, it won't be a proper way. So please represent us and you ask questions on our behalf.
एक श्लोक में उस वानर की
But so in this one verse, listening to the pastime of this monkey, Shaunak Rishi asked a beautiful question.
भाग विस्मयो में महानिह सर्वार्थ साधनो देहो। बहुत सुंदर है। सर्वार्थ साधनो देहो मानुषो यमिति श्रुत मानुषो यमिति श्रुतः। सूत सूत महाभाग। मैं इसके पहले
Sut Mahabhaga. I have previously said multiple times, but again and again I iterate on this point so that it gets established in your heart in any pastime or a verse or a composition. If someone speaks the same word twice, then it is considered to be a shortcoming, which is called as punarakti or repetitive usage of a word. So if someone speaks again and again for the same, then it doesn't look nice. So, but in few words, if you give a great message, that is the expertise of the language. So, to speak the same word again and again is considered to be a punarakti dosh, that is repetitive shortcoming or fault. So, saying sut sut twice, that means Sut Goswami, that Shaunak Rishi has respect towards Sut Goswami. As I always give an analogy that if I call someone and if I tell Hare Krishna, I'm LalGovindDas, then so you will say, Prabhu, Prabhu, please speak. So when you have a respect or affection towards, and if they come to in front of us, then it might happen that we repeat due to respect or due to affection. And it also signifies that he has firm faith towards Sut Goswami. So if you have this inquisitiveness to drink water, when you have observed Nirjala Ekadashi, then when you're going to break that fast, then you have this enthusiasm, inquisitiveness that I want it more. So you will say, bring water fast. So here also, the repetition is here because there is a respect and there is this inquisitiveness and desire to hear more. So Shaunak sage says, so, oh Sut Goswami, Mahabhaga, you are extremely fortunate. Maha means great and Bhaga means fortune. So you are great, fortunate. So does he holds an account in Chase or Bank of America? So Suji has been addressed as the most fortunate. Why? In this world, who is the most fortunate in this world? The one who is extremely beautiful or who has all the wealth, opulence? What does Sut Goswami has? So he is not even from a great family or clan, but he is addressed as Mahabhaga. Why? Because his life is immersed in the Bhagavad Katha, the one whose heart, mind, and soul are engrossed in the Bhagavatam Katha. So they all, so he is fortunate. And a person who is such immersed in the Bhagavad Katha, like you all, let me say this today, the faith that you all are so involved in the Katha. Otherwise, in so many days, you just, I'm seeing everybody. So people listen for 7 days, 10 days, month or 2 months, but you have been constantly listening. And sometimes if and Jagdish Bhai that he used to listen from office, now he listens to from the home.
पहले हम देखते थे ऑफिस में से कथा सुनते थे, अब घर में बैठकर दोनों प्रेमिला माता दोनों साथ में, मतलब इस प्रकार से कमिटेड
So
होकर
in this manner, listening with so much commitment and discipline is a great fortune. Therefore, it is said here, Sut Sut Mahabhaga. So if you offer a lamp to the Lord, then you should offer one lamp extra, that we have got an opportunity, that we are getting an opportunity to listen to Bhagavatam. We have got such a great spiritual master who is immersed in Bhagavatam and who drenches us also in this nectar of Bhagavatam. So he says that Vismayo me maha niha. So whatever you have said just now, that has created a surprise or amazement in my mind. And I'm thinking, what is he thinking? So this is a beautiful contemplation by Sonak Rishi. He says, Sarvartha sadhano deho manushya miti shrutah. We have heard that, and this is true as well, that this human body is how Sarvartha sadhano, that is to attain all the types of
सर्वार्थ साधनों, सर्व अर्थ छोड़िए, वो एक अर्थ कौन सा?
So sarvarth, what is this earth? Earth is considered to be religion, calm, moksha. So all these four are considered to be the great Purusharth. A dog who is in the forest, he gets a roti, so he got a small benefit, but he doesn't has gain anything greater. So in this world, what are the great arthas? First is the principles of religiosity, that is dharma, and to attain that or to accumulate that, we can only do it through the medium of this human body. From that only we can perform or follow the principles of religion. Then second is earth, that is opulence and wealth that we can acquire in this human body. Calm. So, and through this human body we can get all our desires fulfilled. So if a donkey desires to be liberated, will he get? He needs to come to Amrit Charcha. But how he will log in? He doesn't have an iPad, laptop, mobile, etc. So even if he wants or desires, he cannot do that because they don't have this human body. So this human body is such a great body that all these four can be attained or acquired from through the medium of this human body. In other bodies, all these great purusharthas cannot be achieved or attained.
और धर्म अर्थ काम और मोक्ष से भी बड़ा पुरुषार्थ कौन सा है?
So dharma, arth,
चैतन्य महाप्रभु कहते हैं
moksha
कि प्रेम,
and
भगवत
kama,
कृष्ण प्रेम जो
so which
पंचम पुरुषार्थ
are
है,
the four purusharths, but what is the fifth purusharth, which is the greatest of all,
ये सबसे
is
बड़े पुरुषार्थ
bhakti, that is
को पाने
performing the devotional service towards the Lord. And to
केवल मनुष्य शरीर में ही हो सकता
attain that, you can only do it through this human body. Sonak ji says,
सभी
sarvarth sadhano deho.
के जो साधन किया जा
So,
सकता है वह
to achieve all these four purusharthas or five purusharthas, you need a human body. That is the basic qualification, as we have heard. So when you get this human body, then rather than wasting your time here and there, we should work hard to attain all these purusharthas in this life. Lord Ramchandra also had said, he says, this human body you have got, and this is the instrument to attain these purusharthas, and it is the door of liberation. If you just perform little devotional service, then you can open the doors of liberation. So how fortunate we are that we got this human body, and we are still wasting our time for sense gratification. And for 84 lakh species, we have already done all these things like eating, sleeping, mating, etc. But now that we have got this human body, which is the greatest fortune of all, then we should work hard. So further what he adds, he says, Aniyeshu sarvadeheshu sadhane na matir bhavet. This is a very beautiful point. So Anyeshu, Anyadeheshu, so leaving the human body or except human body, the interest or consciousness to serve the Lord is not possible. So the 9 limbs of devotional service, Chant, to perform those activities is possible only through human body. Animals cannot do that. So only humans can do it. And when we have got this human body and still we don't progress in the same, then what is the difference between a man or an animal? So what is his question here? That all these limbs of devotional service can be performed only through this human body. And even if animals desire, they can't do it. But we have seen that we've got such a beautiful human body, still people's heart and mind is not focused towards the Lord. So only for humans it is possible to focus their attention to the Lord, but we have got initiation and yet our heart and mind is not focused towards the Lord.
जब मनुष्य की मति पूर्ण रूप से भजन और भक्ति नहीं लगती तो
a human's attention is not focused on that, then shakha mrig. So to understand this word, I had to spend 45 minutes. So what do you think? First I thought they're talking about the deer. That by the blessings of Guru Maharaj and your mercy. So what is shakha? That is the branch of a tree. Mrig is animal, so animal who resides in the branches of the tree, and that is a monkey. Then I connected that in the last chapter they discussed about the animal, so the question is asked about the same.
शाखा मृग
So the
माने
animal who roams on the branches of the tree, that is a monkey.
अन्येषु सर्वदेहेषु साधने न मतिर भवेत। भक्तो, ऐसा ही प्रश्न परीक्षित ने सुखदेव को पूछा था।
Such a question was even asked by Parikshit Maharaj by Shukdev Goswami in the 6th canto of the Bhagavatam. He says that a person, and not even a devotee who goes to the temple, yet he can focus on the Lord, but a Vitrasur who was born in a demonic family clan, and he was standing in the battlefield where you have only the modes of passion and ignorance, and he was fighting a war, yet how could he focus his heart and mind on the lotus feet of the Lord? So this I am unable to understand. Similar question is being asked by Sut Goswami, that great people or personalities are unable to focus on the lotus feet of the Lord, then how a monkey could focus on the lotus feet of the Lord? And he was about to suffer his providence, yet he got liberation and he attained the lotus feet of the Lord. So Kim Aso, how is that possible, O great sage? So you said in one verse that this monkey just took a bath for 3 days and he attained the abode of the Lord. But we want to listen this in detail. So this is good for us also, that we can also understand that we are human, and animal or a monkey can focus his heart on the Lord and perform Purushottam, and we are humans and we are unable to do that. So the remaining Purushottam days, we are going to listen to this pastime. So he says, Kim aso varnayate vira maso ve Purushottama. How this monkey, that is Shakhamrik, followed this Purushottaman. So please continue speaking Mama Chitta Prasadinim, because it is making my heart satisfied and happy. Is it satisfying you or making happy or not? I don't know. So you might be thinking that in last 25 days you're speaking about Purushottam. So, but here Sud Goswami says that it is very satisfying. It is very blissful to hear about the same. Therefore, Vada Krishna Mastasya Mahatmayam. So, this is another name of Purushottam, Shri Krishna Masasya. Vadaha Shri Krishna Masasya. So this is the Krishna Mas.
इसके पहले भी 2-3 नाम आए थे, मैं तो भूल ही गया हूं, आप लोग ये नोट कीजिएगा। वदह श्री कृष्ण मासस्य, आप कृष्ण मास के विषय में वदिए, बोलिए।
So you speak. Vad means to speak. Shri Krishna Masasya, that is the Purushottam. So this is another name for this Purushottam. And when the Purushottam gets concluded, still you keep on speaking. Although I'm not going to speak after that, I'll just speak to Purushottam. Why? He's requesting, he says, Na tripta jayate, we are not yet satisfied. Shrunuvato me kathamritam. By listening the pastimes of the Lord flowing like
हमको तृप्ति नहीं मिल रही है,
free flowing water or nectar, we are not yet satisfied. So to get satisfied in these material things is good, but to get satisfied in the pastimes of the Lord is not suitable, or there is something problematic there. That is what even Parikshit Maharaj has said, that the thirst never gets quenched.
वानर वाली कथा, शाखा मृग, उस बंदर की कथा, अब तक आपने देखा ना, द्रौपदी ने पुरुषोत्तम मास किया, युधिष्ठिर ने
So far you heard that Draupadi, Yudhishthir, Dhrirdhanva, Sudev Brahman, they all have observed Purushottam. So now a monkey's pastime who has observed this Purushottam. So at least we are better than that. We should follow it. So this is the pastime of a monkey. First and foremost, by speaking the past life of this monkey, Sud Goswami says, our country, Bharat, is divine and we have many states. In South India, there is a state that is Kerala, and their coconuts are very famous. And their massage is also very famous. So in Kerala, there was a Brahmana, but Suji says that this Brahmana was only a Brahmana in name. He lacked all the qualities of a Brahmana. Sometimes people say that we are Brahman. So, okay, you are a Brahman, but it's not sufficient to be a Brahmana by birth. You should also have the qualities of a Brahmana. So you're just born in a Brahmana clan, but do you have the qualities of a Brahmana? If you have those qualities, only then you can consider yourself to be a Brahmana, otherwise not. So he was born in a Brahmana clan, yet he lacked the qualities of the Brahmana, and his name was Chitrak. So this is in the Padma Puran, 21st chapter, under the glories of Purushottama. If I speak all the verses, then it will take more time. So I'm just telling you in short. So in Kerala, there was a Brahmana who was extremely greedy. So there is no limits to the greed, and their nature is totally different. So he was always eager to gather, accumulate more and more wealth. And not only that, he used to intoxicate himself with liquor, alcohol. He never performed a fire sacrifice, nor he performed any charity, austerity. So he hasn't performed any pious deed for anyone. But when his father died, he didn't even properly cremated the father, nor he performed any veneration for him. So there were so many pious months and festivals came, but this Chitrak Brahmana, he didn't do anything. Then how he used to manage the life? So he used to beg, he used to cry in front of others and used to request that I am hungry, please offer me something. He didn't even bathe on a daily basis. So inwardly and outwardly, he was impure. So this was his situation. He has a friend, and this friend was a gardener who used to protect the gardens of the king. So because the king used to have many gardens, and to take care of them and to protect everything, he used to be there. So he realized that his friend Chitrak is begging here and there, and he doesn't have a home to stay. So because of their friendship, he said that it's not appropriate for you to sleep on the ground. the king has appointed me to take care of this garden, so you should come here and you should stay there with us. So the friend was a well-wisher and he gave him shelter in his home or garden. Because the king had so many gardens, so he was not able to go. And what did Chitrak started doing? So there were trees of mango. As soon as the mangoes used to ripen, he used to eat and he used to sell the remaining mangoes. So the gardener said that why there are no mangoes? He said that maybe the birds are eating. But after a few days, he saw that there are no mangoes, and he has started a business of mangoes.
बेचने लगा और तो करने लगा. अब एक दिन सीरियस होकर उसके मित्र ने कहा
So
कि
one
भाई
day, the friend seriously asked, "Oh Chitrak, why we don't see any mango on these trees?" So how great liar this Chitrak Brahmana is. He says, "Oh dear friend,
मैं तो मुझे तो तुम्हारे बगीचे से और तुम्हारे फल से क्या मतलब.
I am not concerned about the fruit or your garden. I beg throughout the day and I am living my life thus. When I do protect the garden, if the mangoes there, but the birds come and they take it and they eat it. And if you don't believe, then you should come with me." He has killed so many birds. He was so cruel to prove that he was right. He has killed so many birds. He said that if you don't trust me, I just to protect your garden, but still I kill these birds. So although the birds were not his fault, he was just stealing the mangoes and selling them. Oh devotees, you can cheat the people of the world, but you cannot cheat the Lord. So he cheated his friend, and it is said that in this manner, performing these grave sins, Sut Goswami says that thus 87 years of his life passed and he died at this age. And so the Lord will not come to him. He was not chanting the holy names, he was not listening to the Katha. He was a grave sinner. He used to lie, he was violent, cruel to others. So Sutji says that the three associates of Lord Yama came. So why? Because he had sinned through his speech, mind, and action. So they were as black as coal, and they had copper colored hair, and they had strange faces, and they dragged the soul of this body of Chitrak, and then they tied him and started dragging him and took him 99,000 yojanas far in the Pitru Lok, that is the planet of the ancestors. And he was crying vehemently, frantically. The associates of Yamraj were bashing him with a hunter and reminding him of all the sins he has performed. He is thirsty, but he is unable to drink any drop of water, and they continue to make him run. And he is stood, he's kept at the doors of the hell where he can see all the people who are punished. And he is thinking that had I not lied, have I not sinned, that would have been great. But Goswami Tulsidas ji has written a beautiful verse. He says, "Man pachatai hai avsar bite." when the time is lost,
पछतावा हो उसका
no
कोई
matter how much repentance you have, it is
अब हम
futile.
नरक के द्वार के पास खड़े रहकर पछताने से
So,
क्या लाभ? ये
what is the
पछतावा
use
जब
of
कोई संत
now
मिले, कोई साधु मिले,
getting
जब कथा सुने, उस समय
regretful of this?
और जीवन को
We
बदल
should
दे।
have this regret when we meet a sage or a saint and we change the life, our life, then we won't have faced such situation. But today, all these sins are in front of his eyes and he is regretting. And we all are going to face this no matter how much we enjoy ourselves today. But when our life will be in danger and the associates of Yama will be there, then we will have to face all our sins.
ती राणी जेटला माथे जा वाळ रे एटला ते वकरम मैं कर्या हे जी एटला ते वकरम मैं कर्या तोळा दे रे एम जेसल के छे जी पाप तारू प्रकाश जाडेजा हे जी धर्म तारू संभाळ रे तारी बेडली ने बुडवा नहीं दऊं हे जी तारी नावडी ने डूबवा नहीं दऊं जाडे जा रे एम तोरल के छे जी ओ जीरे एम तोरल के छे जी। मृत्यु के समय बड़ी दारुण दशा होती है सारे
So at the time of death, the situation is very, very critical, painful. So in our life, by taking the shelter of a spiritual master and opening your heart about all the sins we have performed, and then we can get relieved of all these sins. But if these sins remain in our heart, then we will only be left with regret and nothing else. So we will just have a regret. That is why Tulsidas ji has written, Man pachitaiye avasar bite, durlabh deh pai haripad bhujo,
कर्म बचन अरु
bhaju, karam vachan aru hite. We have got this rare, rare human body, and by not performing devotional service towards the Lord, I have wasted my life. Sahas bahu das badan adi nap bache na kal balite. So why should we be proud? All those great personalities who came on this earth, Sahas bahu, who by the mercy of the Tatri Lord had 10,000 hands or arms, and he lost all of them and he died one day. And thus, that is the Ravana who had 10 heads, also was killed. And he says, hum kari dhan dham. So all these who had thousands of hands, 10 heads, we have just 2 hands and one head, yet they were so glorious, benevolent, and he made this Lanka of gold and he accumulated all the wealth. Ant chale uthi rite. But they had to leave everything behind. So why should we be proud? In this world, we have love, affection towards our wife and children, but all this is the love of selfishness. Ultimately, they all will leave you. So, why should we not detach ourselves from them through our mind or heart? So now we have got attachment was a lot, but I'm at the doors of the hell. I cannot chant here. I cannot listen to the Amrit Charcha. So now I have realized my mistake. I'm regretting, but now the time has already passed. So in this manner, this Chitrak is regretting, is repentful that I got the human body, which is even not easily available to the demigods, but I have wasted this human life. I lost this beautiful body. I got this beautiful opportunity to serve the Lord and I didn't do it. And he was regretting thus. And by the time the associates of Yam brought him in front of Lord Yama, and then he tells Chitragupt what sins has he performed. Or devotees, whatever sins we have done, maybe we might not remember, but Yamraj and his associate Chitragut remembers everything. Chitragupt Chitra means picture or image, and Gupt means in secret. So secretly, in a concealed manner, who clicks your pictures is Chitragupt.
तो गुप्त रूप से चित्र को खींचे वो चित्रगुप्त है. तो उसके पास सब
the one who clicks your pictures, so he has all the evidence that you have sinned this way, here and there. So he was brought in front of Lord Yama, and Yamraji starts speaking the punishment. He says that he has always eaten that belong to others. He has stolen the fruits of someone else. He got a good friend and he has cheated him. He had drunk liquor. He has killed animals and ate them or eaten them. He said that. So he put an order here. You can see this is in Sanskrit. This is what Yamraji writes.
ये ब्राह्मण को यहाँ से लेकर जाओ, भगाओ इसको यहाँ से लेकर जाओ.
He says that you should take away this brahmana from here. Ayom niyatam vipra. Vipra means brahmana. And what does he says? Pap buddhir madagaya. It says agya is my order. Yamraji says this is my order. By my order, shatta yutani varshanam pretatva mriti darunam. First and foremost, for 100 years, he should be sent to the Preta Yoni. So, you know what is a Pret or a ghost? It is easiest to say. So, it is like to roam without a body. So, now we have a body. If we get hungry, then by our hands we can eat. But in this ghost family, you get hungry, but you can't eat. He has a desire, but he cannot fulfill the same. Then he gets tortured because of the same. And now that he doesn't has a body, so if that ghost is powerful, then he enters the body of a weak person and enters their body and gets his desire fulfilled. So you should perform devotional service, otherwise this ghost will enter our body. And Yamraj says that you should make him pret for 100 years, that is a ghost for 100 years. And further, Yamraji adds,
So आप लोग जरा इसको याद रखिएगा, नोट कीजिएगा कि इस चित्र को 100
so please remember all this. For 100 years, he is supposed to go in the form of a ghost, or take a form of a. Then Trayodasha, that is 13, Tum Kritva Krapi Janma he should be given the body of a monkey because he has worked like a monkey. So make him monkey. So for 100 years he will be ghost, and for 13 years he will be a monkey. Kapi means a monkey, and Jan means birth. Why?
तप हिम क्षुधा ऐसे और क्या कहा जानते हैं, ये आगे कथा आएगी।
And what he
ऐसे
added,
स्थान वृंदावन का बंदर मत बनाना,
you shouldn't make him the monkey of a Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, the monkeys are devotees. They're very good. As I say that they put him in such a place where, which is a very dangerous place. So you should put him where there should be extreme rains, a hurricane, temperature, and there should be no. So he should be a monkey of America or Canada. And where he gets hungry, he won't get anything to eat. Trisha is thirst, where he couldn't even find water. Vyadhi. So for 13 years he should be such a monkey who's suffering. So what is the punishment? For 100 years he should be a ghost, and for 13 years he should be a monkey. So he adds further. So once he has concluded these 13 years, after that, then I will look at it. So usually what happens in here, Yamaraji writes a letter that you should punish this here and there, and his associates follow the orders. But Yamaraji said that he is such a grave sinner. I will look into his matter with my own eyes. So for 100 years he's a ghost, for 100 years, 13 years he will be a monkey in a notorious place, and after that I will punish him in many hellish planets. So his associate said, for how long you want him to keep in the hellish planets? He said, Darsha Budani Varshani. That is 10 trillions of years in hellish planets. Dash means 10 and Budani means Arab. So 1,000, 10,000, lakh, then crore, 10 crores. After that there is Arab. So for 10 Arab years, he should be punished in the hellish planets, and I will do it myself. So what punishment he got? That for 100 years he is supposed to be a ghost, and for 13 years supposed to be a monkey, and after that for 10 Arab trillion years he is supposed to suffer in hellish planets. So now he became a ghost for 100 years, and when he became this monkey for 13 years, he was supposed to suffer for 100 trillion years. That was already his providence. But when he became a monkey and this Purushottam, and he worked something that all those suffering that he was supposed to handle or suffer were erased, deleted, and he attained the abode of the Lord directly. Then Shanak says that I understood that he became attained the abode of the Lord, but how and what did he do that this huge punishment was destroyed? But here the chapter gets concluded. So the pastime of this monkey, this Purushottam, how he got benefited by this, we are going to listen in the upcoming days. This is a beautiful pastime, and very good philosophical points we are learning.
So आइए हम शबरी माता
So
और भगवान रामचंद्र के द्वारा शबरी माता
let's
नवदा
we are
भक्ति का जो उपदेश दिया है उस उपदेश
listening
को
to the counsel of Lord Shri Ram to Shabri Mother on limbs of bhakti. But prior to that, let's recite this limbs or Navadha Bhakti.
भक्ति जय जय माखन चोर जय जय माखन चोर श्री कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की श्री शबरी माता की जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की उपस्थित भगवत कथा अनुरागी
Hare Krishna. I welcome all the devotees attendees.
इस सभा को
I extend my warm welcome and gratitude
भगवत कथा रसिक
to the mellowful senior devotees
दूर दूर से
of Bhagavatam.
देश विदेश
I also welcome you all who have joined through the medium of Facebook, YouTube, Govind TV, etc. from all the parts of the world, that is, all the listeners, attendees, devotees, and the organizers of this beautiful Ram Katha, the entire Patni family, especially if we remember their past ancestors, the recipients of Srila Prabhupadaji's mercy, Sri Damji Bapa, Dudhi Bain, Kanji Bhai, Jaya Bain, Chotu Bhai, and Prabhudas Bhai. So, in the memory of these ancestors, the organizers of this beautiful, and not only organizers, along with that, by giving their complete attendance, listeners of this beautiful, we have done quite kathas, and initially the host gets busy making me sit on the Vyaspeeth, and then they used to make me sit and speak the Bhagavatam, and they used to.
એને અમારી ઉપર પૂરેપૂરો વિશ્વાસ હતો કે આ જે કાંઈ પણ બોલશે સત્ય બોલ लेकिन जमाना बहुत सुधर गया है
But the world has changed now. It's getting better. The organizers to give their attendance and listen to the Katha. Such residents of Kenya, Nairobi, Yogesh Bhai, from London, Naveen Bhai, Ranjan Bhai, Murli, and from Australia, Arvind Bhai, and from Nairobi, Shobha Bain. I welcome you all. On the fourth day of this Katha, I welcome you all. Welcome back. And please accept our humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Jai Siya Ram.
नवदा भक्ति शबरी
Navadha Bhakti. So, the 9 limbs of bhakti described by Lord Shri Ram to Mother Shabri. So,
चौपाई पर जिस पॉइंट पर हमने चर्चा की थी,
the
मेरी सुई तो वहीं पर
discussion we did on the first day, I'm still stuck there.
पार हो पाऊंगा.
And I don't think I will be able to cross. Have you heard? When Ramji came to the hermitage of Mother Shabri,
तो शबरी जी गुरु जी का स्मरण करती हैं, गुरु के
then
वचन का
she
स्मरण करती
remembers the words of her spiritual master and serves Lord Sri Ram and offers him berries. But now Mother Shabri wants to venerate the Lord. And Goswamiji describes this in this manner.
जोरी आगे भई ठाढ़े, प्रभु ही विलोकी प्रीति अति बाढ़ी, केहि विधि स्तुति करो तुम्हारी. राघव केहि विधि स्तुति करो तुम्हारी, क्योंकि अधम ते अधम अधम अति नारी, अधम जाति में जड़मति भारी. पानी जोरी, शबरी माता
Pani Jori. So Pani means hand. So with folded hands, she comes forward and sits near him, and she just keeps on glancing, looking at Lord Shri Ram. The more she glances, and the more her love towards the Lord increased manifold. And it was a desire in her heart that I should venerate the Lord. So when we go to the temple to have an audience with the Lord, or in the form of the deity of the Lord, or in the form of the Lord, what shall we do when He gives us a? We should go to the restroom. We should wash our face. Shall we do this? No. So if the Lord has appeared in front of you and He's going to give you an audience, but we should prepare that what if we get panicked and we are not able to do anything at that time. So what shall we do in the form of the deity, or when the Lord is manifested in front of our eyes? And we should do three things. Already I have spoken, but let me remind you. First and foremost, with our eyes we should look or glance at the Lord. Prabhu hi biloki. Shabri mother just kept on glancing, looking at Lord Sri Ram. And the more she looked at him, the more her attachment, her love towards the Lord increased. So she's sitting in front of the Lord. So we should look at the face of the Lord or the form of the Lord. And if we are unable to see that, at least we should have this thought that at least, although we are not able to see him, but at least he can see us. So first and foremost is to look at the Lord or glance at the Lord. And the second is we should bow down in front of. So Shabri had bowed down at the lotus feet of the Lord to fall down like a stick. I am wearing new clothes and there is dust. We should ignore all these things and bow down. And then when I want to say, if we get an opportunity, before our body falls on the lotus feet of the Lord, our heart should fall before that at the lotus feet of the Lord. So Shabri looked at the Lord and she bowed down. And the third work is to venerate the Lord. So when we go in the temple, we should do that. We should look at the Lord. This is a great subject. How should we look at the Lord? We should start from the feet of the Lord, and how we should perform Dandvat. Our eyes should be open. With our speech, we should have a mantra or a verse. And when we stand up and we stand in front of the eyes, then we should venerate the Lord. So this is the sequence. Dhruv Maharaj had followed. So all those historical figures about whom we listen. So Shabriji also wants to follow this sequence, but she has revolutionized. I'm still stuck here. Although I have reached the first limb of devotion, but I'm stuck here. Kehi vidhi astuti karo tumhari. Just imagine, just contemplate that for 60,000 years, who has kept patience and performed devotion service? Can she not venerate the Lord? A third-rate devotee like us, I'm talking about myself, at least 2-5 verses are spoken in front. Have we gotten expertise in Sanskrit? Have we studied in Kashi? We go to the temple, so at least some veneration we do and can do. So there can be a question, but how it could be a great task for Mother Shabri? She could have venerated the Lord as we do. But this woman has revolutionized the whole world. And the revolution is that Shabri thinks she's incapable, that I have no qualification to speak your glories. And if we think about this, then our head will also bend down, because to venerate the Lord is not in our purview. And I'll keep on speaking on this point, but today, tomorrow, till I'm satisfied. So how can I venerate you, O my Lord? Because I won't be able to do it. Is it that she doesn't know how to do it? She could have venerated the Lord in whatever language she knows. Then now please understand the essence here. So what is the science, logic behind it? Let's understand that. Mother Shabri is saying, how can I venerate you? It's impossible for me to pray to you, worship you, or venerate you. So this veneration, so they see, look at the variation. So to perform this stuti or veneration is also different. So different people have different processes to do the same. And the goal of venerating the Lord could also be different. So the goal can also be different for different people. So, and their styles can also be different. And first, importantly, their mellow or emotion would also be different. So we are going to dissect this in detail. So just by reciting the verse, is it veneration? There are 3 things that are important when we venerate the Lord. So even if we want to praise or pray to any sage or a saint also, then there are 3 things that are very important here. First, the style, that is the process by which we do it. Second is the goal. So what is the goal? To do the same. As when Kunti was venerating the Lord, so Krishna said that you are venerating me very nicely. But what is the goal? Please let me know. What do you want? And what Kunti replies, I want distress. So there are three important things. First, the process or the style. Second, the goal. And third is what is the intent or emotion behind the same. If these three are not correct, then like Shabri, we will also have to say that Kehi Vidhi Astuti Karu Tumhari. And we'll have to say, she has proved this. I was contemplating on that, and I understand that we consider ourselves to be great devotees, that we know this veneration and that, but we are a big zero if we contemplate on this. Today you will realize it a little. So let's go to the history. So in the assembly of Ravana, his followers pray to the Lord.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare.
और भी कुछ बोल सकते हैं.
Hare Krishna. So, all right. So, since Prabhuji ने permission दे ही दी है, तो आइए हम Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. बहुत धन्यवाद प्रभुजी. बहुत सुंदर हम यहाँ पर माता शबरी की स्तुति को श्रवण कर रहे हैं और शबरी माता का जो सुंदर भाव है प्रभुजी हम सबको यहाँ पर लगातार इन उससे अवगत करा रहे हैं कि एक भक्त का भाव क्या होना चाहिए और जो भक्त जिनसे भगवान इतने प्रसन्न हुए. और कल कथा में हमने श्रवण किया कैसे भगवान श्री राम अलग अलग स्थान पर प्रसाद लेने गए, परंतु प्रसाद की स्तुति नहीं की, परंतु जो प्रसाद जो भाव से वहां पर ग्रहण किया था वहां पर भगवान ने बहुत सुंदर उनको उसको सराहा था. वो भाव प्रभु जी को भगवान को उतना प्रसन्न आया था. और कल प्रभु जी ने बहुत सुंदर बताया था कि कैसे भगवान श्री राम जो कि मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम है और एक स्थान जहाँ पर प्रभु श्री राम ने मर्यादा को उल्लंघन किया वो ये था कि भगवान ने झूठे पैर खाए. बहुत सुंदर भगवान श्री राम का यह सुंदर चरित्र और माता शबरी के साथ में सुंदर संवाद हम सबको यहाँ पर श्रवण करने को मिल रहा है. तो हम सबका ये भाग्य है कि यहाँ पर एक सुंदर भाव श्रवण कर रहे हैं. आइए हम जारी रखते हैं प्रभु जी के श्रीमुख से इस कथा को.
केहि विधिया स्तुति करो तुम्हारी, केहि विधिया स्तुति करो तुम्हारी, अधम जाति में जड़मति भारी, अधम जाति में जड़मति भारी. हे नाथ, मैं आपकी स्तुति कैसे कर सकती हूँ क्योंकि जड़मति है.
So she says that how am I going to venerate you? In the assembly of Ravana, Ravana used to be venerated. Let me remind you this past time. How are our prayers? or are we qualified to venerate the Lord or not? So this is about those times when Ramji befriended the monkeys and made this bridge on the ocean, and all his army reached Lanka. And when this army of monkeys reached Lanka, and when Ravana realized this, the Ravana also thought that one monkey came and he burned the whole Lanka, and now they are all coming in great numbers. Don't know what will happen. So Ravana already knew the strength. So what he did was he addressed his assembly. And in this assembly, so, so he asked for a counsel from the people and the ministers. That one monkey came and there was so much problem. Now so many monkeys are coming. So what shall we do? In this context, Ravana was the greatest of all. This is something that we should learn from him, that when you have a grave situation in your life, then you should ask the people and your ministers should be asked for advice. And this quality is not only in Ravana, but also in Ram. He is modesty personified. So in this same Lanka, when his army reached here, they rested for the night, and early morning he asked for a he arranged for a meeting. Jamanji and all the wise people gathered, and Ramji sought advice from them. So here Ravana is seeking counsel, and on other hand, Ram is also seeking the advice. So both have the qualities. So when Ramji asked for advice, that we are here, and I still want to avoid the battle, that would be in the interest of everyone. So everybody said that what will we do? So let's give one chance, last opportunity to Ravana to make him understand. So what did Ramji's minister said? He said, who shall we send? So he said that let's send Angad there, the son of Bali Maharaj, so that we can avoid this battle and we can send a message of peace. So and everybody agreed. So Ravana also had this quality in his assembly. He asked for advice from the ministers, but his people and ministers were all very, very stupid. So when he was asked, what shall we do? Now these monkeys are here. What did they reply?
तब श्रम नाही नर बानर केहिले खे माही. अरे महाराज,
They said, "Oh king, how can you speak like this in an assembly?" So in the assembly of Ravana, what are they telling Ravana? "Oh great king, why are you getting scared of these monkeys?" And what have they said? Jeete hu sura sur. Just remember, oh Ravan, you have defeated Sur and Asur, that is the demigods and the demons. So when you have won over these, you've never felt any labor. And in front of such small humans and monkeys are here, and what are they in comparison to these demigods and demons whom you have defeated? So when you have already defeated these, well, what is the great work for you to destroy these humans and monkeys? You should not care a fig about them. So who spoke this? So these are the ministers and citizens of Ravana who speak thus. And by saying this, they started venerating Ravana. that you are a great king. As that Shabriji said that I cannot sing your praises or venerate you, but they started praising Ravana.
So अब यहाँ पर मैं आगे बढ़ूं
So
उसके
here, before we go further, let me share a philosophical point here, which Tulsidas ji shares here. So the Goswami Tulsidas ji beautifully speak that three people, when they praise you, then there you should understand that there is something not fair or something is bad. So if a minister praises you, then your progress will stop. Then second is Ved, that is a doctor. If he praises you, today's doctors are better. Now, earlier they used to shout.
ठंडू खवाए
They used to teach, especially in the villages. So they used to treat us less and scold us more. I've seen this in my childhood. That they were always in a formal, as if we have performed a great sin, as we have stolen something and we have went to him. Who told you to eat something cold? Who told you to eat an ice cream? Should you eat ice cream? And he used to scold.
डॉक्टर जब
Yes.
आपकी प्रशंसा
And
करने
when this doctor starts praising you, then there might be some problem. You ate ice cream that was good. So now you got disease, and now I got an opportunity to. So that is not worthy. And if a minister becomes your yes man, then it will be a dangerous situation. Great Niti is spoken by Sant Tulsidas. And third is Guru. A minister, a doctor, and a bona fide spiritual master praise you, then you should understand that there is something wrong. We should not expect praises from a spiritual master. We should expect knowledge. He should rectify us. And to butter us, there are so many other people to praise. So a cheap praise will be done by anyone. But who exactly are we and what do we require? That can be only told by a spiritual master. Goswamiji has told Sachiv Vaid Guru, jo priya bolahi, bhai aas. If they are, if they start speaking praises, then you should get careful and you should try to distance yourself from them. You should change the course of your path. You should try to find another spiritual master. You should find another doctor. And you should change your minister. Raj dharmatan tinahi kar hoi begahinas. Because these three will destroy you for sure. So in the assembly of Ravana, his ministers started praising Ravana. And the citizens also started singing his praises. And how were they praising him? So in this assembly of Lanka, they were praising Ravana so that he could listen to my voice. That was the only motivation. So they didn't have any respect towards Ravana. So understand the intent behind their praise. So they didn't have any respect, nor they were well-wishers of Ravana. Sunai, Sunai, So that implies that at least Ravan should listen that I'm praising him, so that I'm good in front of his eyes. Why? Because these people were aware. What was the question Ravana asked? He asked that this army of the monkeys are here, so tell me what shall we do? So all these monkeys are here, so what shall we do? So what did the people and the minister said then, why you need to be scared? You have defeated the demigods and demons alike. So what are these monkeys? But outwardly they are saying, inwardly what they were thinking is presented by Santa Tulsidas here. So this is their inward emotion.
जब ते जारी गयऊ कपि लंका, जब से वो वानर लंका
Since the day this monkey has burnt the Lanka, from that day, these demons who reside here in Lanka,
मतलब
Shashank, that is, they are not safe, they are at risk. So what are they thinking? So outwardly what are they saying? That, oh King Ravan, you need not to worry, you shouldn't be anxious, you have defeated the demons and demigods alike. So they are saying this outwardly, but inwardly what are they thinking? In their own homes, Nich Nich means their own, Grihi means home, Karahi Vichara, contemplated, Nahi Nisichar Kul Ker Upara. These demons cannot be saved by anyone. So all these denizens of Lanka, the demons, won't be spared. Why? Jasudut bal barini na jai, whose one messenger, only one messenger of Lord Shri Ram came, and he was no match for all the people of Lanka, and his glories can't be described. So, whose glories cannot be sung. And now lakhs of monkeys are here with that messenger. How can we be spared? How will we be benefited? So inwardly, the denizens and the ministers are thinking that now we can't be saved or spared because one messenger was tough on us, and now he is here with Lord Ram and the whole army. So how can we be rescued or saved? So this is what they are thinking inwardly, that they are scared of the monkeys and they're looking that their whole world will get crumbled, they will be destroyed. But outwardly they are saying that even the demigods and demons are scared of you. You have defeated them. So what does it imply? That Ramji will be very detrimental to our existence. But outwardly they are praising Lord King Ravana. If someone just praises a person outwardly and not from heart, then that is only true for selfish motive, and that is the lowest level of praise. It's better not to praise anyone. So in their heart, they have this fear of these monkeys, and they know that their master will be harmed, but outwardly they are praising him. So their intent is different than their words. They don't match here. So this kind of praise is the lowest kind of praise. So just apply this on your lives, that when you venerate the Lord, so the words that are coming is our intent similar to that? If not, then we should not do it. Therefore, Shabri says, Kehi vidhi karu tihari. Do you understand? This is what proves. Although Shabri's life it's not like this, but she wants to open our eyes to this fact that how shall I venerate you? A praise can be sung who has an mellow, and he presents those mellows through his speech. So the mellow and the speech should be same. But here what we see is inwardly we think that he should fall down. And our speech very very good. You are great. So this is the lowest kind of praise which should be criticized. So when we speak like this in front of the Lord, the words that we are using, is that our mellow or intent? If that is not our emotion, and it's just the word, then we are just cheating, as Ravana was being cheated by his ministers and citizens. So we are also cheating the Lord in this manner if we do this. And if we are in this situation, that is why Shabri's point here is valid and applicable to us, that how should we venerate you, O my Lord? How can I pray you or praise you? Now you let me know. Are we capable of venerating the Lord or not? So you might be thinking that what is there in veneration? But here, to venerate the Lord, the intent and the speech should be matching. If there is a difference between them, then that is worth criticism and should be avoided at all costs. Therefore, Shabriji is saying that, how can I venerate you? Then what did Ramji replied? He said, no more. But the point is that if you cannot venerate me, then I shall venerate you. So Ramji started praising her. The prayers of Ramji is not a direct prayer, straightforwardly. So in straight words, if he praises Shabri, then she would become bashful, and the Lord cannot tolerate that a person should be bashful. This is a great sin. Sometimes people make other people bashful and get our work done. A person, because of his modesty, doesn't say anything, but we should not make others feel bashful. So Ramji wants to venerate the Lord and venerate. So Ramji wants to venerate Shabriji, and he doesn't want her to be bashful. So he indirectly praises Mother Shabri. She becomes comfort. And at the end, how does he conclude? Oh, Mother Shabri, you already have all these 9 limbs of bhakti in you. This is the praise, this is the veneration. So by giving the example of 9 limbs of devotional service, or through the medium of these 9 limbs, he has praised Mother Shabri. That you have already done all this. You had associated with Patang Rishi, etc. So through the medium of this 9 limbs of bhakti, he's so otherwise you tell me a person who is on the deathbed and the doctor says that he's about to die, and you're called there and you say that the first limb is association जैसे कि श्रवण कीर्तन. So he's about to die. What is the need of giving this advice or counsel? Now he's leaving this world. It doesn't require a person who has time. If you tell them, then they are going to follow. So in a few moments, Mother Shabri is going to attain Sake Dham. Then what is the need of telling these 9 limbs of bhakti to her? So this is indirectly a praise of Mother Shabri, and he did it in such a manner that she should not be bashful of that. So let's come to our first limb of devotional service and discuss a little on the same.
Bhagati Santanha Karasanga Prathama Bhagati Santanha Karasanga. गाइए. प्रथम भगति संतन कर संगा दूसरी रति मम कथा प्रसंगा दूसरी रति मम कथा प्रसंगा. So, प्रथम भगति संतन कर संगा. गोस्वामी जी ने बड़े गांव की भाषा यूज की है.
Goswami ji has used a local language of the
भक्ति व्याकरण के अनुसार तो भक्ति लिखा जा सकता है ना, लेकिन क्या कहते हैं?
According to grammar, it should be bhakti, but here he's calling it as bhagati. So Tulsidas ji has tried to simplify this language to the common language of the people. So Prathama Bhagati Santanah Karasanga. Oh Shabri, the first limb of devotional service is to associate with exalted devotees of the Lord. So we all are aware of this. And we associate with devotees as well. But still we don't see any change in us. We get so much, but we haven't got any change. Sometimes it's a bit, we don't realize whether we are improvising or getting spoiled. First, we never used to criticize, we never used to offend others. So by association of devotees, are we getting benefited or are we getting the ill benefits of the same? So we need to understand a philosophical point. First limb is to associate with the sages or saintly souls. But what kind of saints shall we associate with? By associating with which kind of saints we will progress in our devotional service. So previously we have heard the question that was asked by Narad Muni to Lord Sri Ram, that what are the symptoms of a saint? Now today Ramji's younger brother, who is a great saintly soul himself, and question should be answered. So if we take the words of Bharatji, what does he say?
भेद बिलगाई प्रणत पाल मोहि कह हूँ सुनाई संतन के लक्षण सुनु भ्राता अगणित श्रुति पुराण विख्याता। जैसे कल मैंने आपको भूमिका कही थी कि
So as I laid the foundation yesterday, that when Ramji gave an opportunity to ask a question and everybody started asking, when it was the turn of Bharat ji, then these are the words of Bharat ji, and he says Pranat Pal. He addresses Lord Shri Ram as Pranat Pal. Pranat means to pranam, that is to venerate, and Pal. So Lord Ram is such that if you just venerate him once or bow down at his lotus feet once, he will take care of you throughout your life. So who is there in this world as merciful as Lord Ram? Sant asant bhed bil gai. So I just want to know the difference between a saint and the opposite of a saint or unsaintly people. So you should differentiate between them. You should separate them. So what are the qualities or symptoms of a saint and what are the qualities of a demonic person? And Ramji started speaking. Instantly he said, so first listen to the symptoms and qualities of a saintly soul, which are famous in all the Puranas and the Shrutis. And Ramji is Ramji. We cannot find any other analogy like this. It is so beautiful. You should wear it as a necklace where he discusses the sant and a son together with example.
संतय संत निह केयसी करनी जिमि कुठार चंदन या चरणी काटई परशु मलय सुनु भाई निज गुण देई सुगंध बसाई निज गुण देई सुगंध बसाई। बहुत सुंदर है। संत असंत के करनी, संत और असंत की करनी बस इतनी है, एक शब्द
the difference between a saintly soul and an unsaintly person is
और चंदन में। संत जो है वो चंदन का पेड़ है और असंत जो है वो कुलाड़ी के समान है। दैट्स इट, इतने में आ गया। मतलब असंत जो है वो कुल्हाड़ी की तरह केवल काटने का काम करते हैं और संत चंदन की तरह बिना किसी का भेदभाव देखे दूसरों को सुगंध देने का काम करता है।
An axe will cut the people, anything that comes in her way, while a sandalwood will give her fragrance to everyone without making any difference or differentiating between any person.
डिवोटी को तो वो भी नहीं करना है, उसमें भी सिद्धांत लगाते, इसमें अल्कोहल होता है, ये तारे पीऊ थोड़ी से तारे लगाड़ू से। तो अत्तर की दुकान आप खास करके, वैसे आप पर्सनली तो नहीं जाते होंगे, हम लोग जब राजस्थान जाते हैं ना तो पुष्कर
we go to Rajasthan, especially in Pushkar,
या फिर दुबई या गल्फ कंट्री में
and in Gulf countries, at airports you can see these shops,
देखे होंगे,
and you might have seen
जो अत्तर की दुकान, परफ्यूम की दुकान जो है,
the shop of the
बिकता है।
perfumes where they sell these fragrances.
जो परफ्यूम खरीदने वाला होता है,
The person who buys a perfume, he also gets the smell, and those who are not there to buy it, still they get the fragrance. Does he says that I will give you the fragrance only if you're going to buy me? Doesn't say so. And a person who buys, he also gets the fragrance. Who doesn't buy, he also gets the same fragrance. That is the life of a saint.
संत और असंत की ऐसी करनी है जिमी
So
कुठा
there is only this difference between a saint and a scoundrel.
फरसू असंत जो है ना फरसू के समान और संत जो है चंदन के समान असंत जो है
That
फरसू की तरह
a
केवल
scoundrel or a rascal is like an axe, while a saint is like a sandalwood. The one who always try to cut means not to destroy anyone's body, but to cut this speech, their to spoil their ideas, to curtail someone's progress. Those who want to destroy others, although if they are wearing the clothes of a saint, they shouldn't be considered as saints. And a sage is like a sandalwood. And he gives a further explain this analogy. Just imagine, you might not have seen it, and there is an axe, and the fragrant, beautiful sandalwood in Millay mountain, and this axe attacks this saint. Still, this sandalwood gives it fragrance. So it gives itself, and also it gives its fragrance to the axe. So a scoundrel or a rascal's quality is to curtail others, to cut them, destroy them. But a saint will even think or benefit even the people who have distressed them or harmed them in any manner. So a real saint is the one that a person who is getting distressed by a person, yet he tries to help them. This is the quality of a saint. And that is why, because of this quality, Ramji explains beautifully. He says, "Oh Bharat, because of this quality,
के कारण सूर सिसन चढ़त
Sur Sisan Chadat Jag Vallabh Shrikhand." And because of that, Shrikhand is Chandan. It's not about the sweet that we eat. This is Shrikhand, that is sandalwood. So this Shrikhand means sandalwood, because if it is cut, still it gives fragrance. Therefore, it is applied on the forehead of the Lord, because although he is being cut, still it gives fragrance to others. That is why it bedecks the face or the head of the Lord. And this axe who cuts others has to burn in fire. So this axe is of iron. You can understand what is its condition in the second line. Anal dahi pitat ghanahi. It is put in the fire and then it is beaten, attacked. And that is its punishment. So in simple words, Ramji has explained this beautifully, that a scoundrel or a rascal is a person who curtails or destroys others, while a saint is the one who gives fragrance even if they're harmed by others. and therefore the axe is punished by putting in fire and being beaten. But a saint is like a sandalwood, that it gives fragrance. Therefore, sandalwood decorates the face of the Lord, the head of the Lord.
सच्चे संत की परीक्षा मैं आपको कहूं,
So
सच्चे
if
संत की
we have to test a saint when you attack him, I'm talking about Ramakrishna Paramhans, who is the master of Vivekanand. When Vivekanand ji went to bow down at the lotus feet of his spiritual master, he said that, just wait, you want to surrender someone, then you should first test them. You should not be in haste to make a spiritual master. First, you should attack me. If you really want to test a sage or a saint, then you should attack him. As Ramji here says, even if the sandalwood tree is attacked, yet it will give fragrance. So this is the greatest test of a saint, when he's attacked and still he thinks of the welfare of that person who has attacked him. That then you will understand that this person is a saint. I tell you that you should try that. The one you want to surrender to, you should attack them first, and you should know whether they give you fragrance or something else. This is the philosophy of Ramakrishna Paramhans. And further, Ramji adds, how is a saintly soul? Vishay alampat. So the first limb of devotional service is to associate with sant or saintly soul. We need to understand who is a saint. So who is a saint? It's not necessary that a saint should be a celibate. He can be a celibate or a brahmachari, but a saint can be in a householder realm of a. He could be in dhoti or even in pants or bermudas. The clothes doesn't matter. So the hair, clothes, or color of the clothes are not the things to be criticized. What are the qualities that they should have? So he says, Vishay alampat. So Vishay is what are the subjects of the senses? Eyes subject is to see or view. Ears should listen. Tongue to eat tasteful stuff or things. So all these senses, so he should be not entangled in sense gratification. So a few days back, I find this lumpat. Bumblebee is considered as a lumpat, as he is attached to the dust of the lotus. He's aware that I'm attached to that, and now the sun is about to set, and I'm going to trapped in this lotus and I will die. But without concerned about his death, he just is attached to sense enjoyment. That is a lumpat. So if we are constantly looking at things without any concern or thinking or listening to the worldly matters, and without being concerned what we are eating, if we eat there and we are attached to it, then we are lampat. So a saint is not a lampat, he's exact opposite. He's not a debauch. Lampat in English means debauch. So he's not a debauch, his senses are controlled. It's not that he's away from senses, that he has left his home and everything and he became a saint. The one who is away from the senses is not a saint, but the one who lives amidst the opportunities of sense gratification and still he gets control, then he is considered to be a saint or a lamput, a noun debauched person. So a person has said, "Are you married?" He said, "No, I'm a brahmachari." Then later they realized that nobody was giving him a woman to marry. If I get an opportunity, I will marry 10 times. So they're not getting an opportunity, that is why. But a great sage is who is in the midst of these opportunities or avenues of sense gratification, but he doesn't get affected by the same. It is easy to be away from sense gratification, but to be in midst of that and still not get affected by that is the saintly quality. So will you speak something with me?
न हरि भूलो,
ना जग छोड़ो ना हरि भूलो,
कर्म करो जिंदगानी में, कर्म करो
जिंदगानी में, रहो दुनिया में यूं जैसे कमल रहता है पानी में.
न जग छोड़ो, न दुनिया को छोड़ो.
We should not leave this world, nor we should forget the Lord. So I'm talking about this word, defining this word, alamput,
जिंदगानी में
non-debauched.
रहो दुनिया में यूं जैसे कमल
But you should live in this world as a lotus resides in the pond, but never gets affected by the same. So while staying in midst of the sense gratification, if you don't get affected by the same, that is the saint. So Prabhupada had so much work to do. When he came to America, he had to give Bhagavatam to so many people. So he used to say, "We want money, so bring donation, charity." So there was one disciple of Prabhupada, and he said that this is a moment we ask for money and donation from people. There was a description of a Babaji. He doesn't touches anybody's wealth. He is such a great saint that his Anand touches Lakshmi. And day and night we are trying to gather donation. And Prabhupada replied, he said, "No worries. If someone uses this money for preaching and to make temples, then I'm ready to get clicked with the money, and you can print it in the headlines on the front page. I won't have any trouble, because by living away from money is difficult, easy, but to be with money and yet not get affected by it is saintly quality. That is what Prabhupada did. Running away is very, very easy, but to reside like a lotus is difficult. So this is the definition of a saint. Vishay Alampat, the one who is unaffected by sense gratification or whose senses are controlled. Then the second quality is Sheel. Sheel implies how he should behave with someone, how he should behave, he knows. So if someone is elder to me, if someone is younger, then how should I behave? And if he is a Brahmana, then how I should speak when I'm with a warrior, how should I speak? So everything is fine-tuned. That is Sheel. And all the Gujarati says, Ganga Sati beautifully says on this word Sheel, she says,
साधु ने वारे वारे नमिये पानबाई, शीलवंत साधु ने वारे वारे नमिये पानबाई, जेना बदलाई नहीं वर्तमान, राम भरोसो राखे हृदय माजने, महाराज थया मेहरबान। शीलवंत साधु ने वारे वारे नमिए, जो शीलवान संत है उसे
says that we should bow down at the feet of a saint who is wise. A saint is the one who has all the great qualities, who is the ocean of great qualities. And he adds further beautifully, he says, par dukh dukh, sukh sukh dekhe par. This is the beautiful composition. He gets affected by the worry and distress of others, and he becomes happy on seeing someone happy.
और अपने सुख से सुखी हो। इसी रामायण में गोस्वामी जी ने एक बात कही, आप कहो तो
This Ramayana, Goswami ji has spoken something else on this point, par dukh dukh and par sukh sukh. By seeing the distress of someone, you get saddened. Then you can think that this devotional service is working, but by looking at distress of others, you become happy, elated. Then it seems that you are suffering, which should be rectified. What happened to this world? That we are getting excited on seeing distress of others. This is the greatest worrisome part. But a saint gets distressed by seeing other people in distress, and by seeing other happy, he becomes satisfied and happy. Why? Some. Because a saint is equanimous towards others. He is equal towards everyone. And how are they? Abhut Ripu. Ripu means enemy. Who doesn't have any enemy? A saint never have any enemy. Example, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Ajatshatu. He didn't have any enemy. Although Duryodhana, etc., considered him their enemy, but Yudhishthir Maharaj never considered anyone as his enemy. So a saint never have any enemy, or he doesn't have any animosity towards other. And Bhima, that is, he doesn't have any pride, he's unprideful. And Viragi, he is denounced, renunciate, Lobha, Harash, Harash, Bhay, Tyagi. So saint let go of these things. So he let go of greed. He doesn't have greed. Amarash means anger. He doesn't have anger. Harsh, he doesn't become happy easily on small matters. And he is never scared. He is not fearful. In this manner, the saint is described, and further he adds, Komal Chit, his heart is very soft-hearted. He is very kind and soft-hearted. And how soft is that? Can you give me a meter? Is he softer than the cotton? And a poet said,
संत का हृदय गाय के दूध के, मुझे ये सब चौखवट करनी पड़ती है कि गाय के दूध से बने हुए
Saint's heart is like the butter prepared by the milk of the cow. Because if the people will think that the heart is of butter, but the today's butter, if you hit someone, then they will they will get a bump on their head. But the fresh butter prepared by cow's milk, and the saint's heart is as soft as that butter. But Tulsidas ji went a step further. He said that a saint's heart is compared to the newly formed butter of cow's milk, but they were unable to say it properly because their heart is not soft like the butter, but it's even softer than that. So the butter, if you keep it on fire, then it will melt. But it will not melt on its own accord. You will have to keep it on fire to melt it. So when he gets on fire and gets destroyed, then only he melts. But a saint's heart melts when he sees the distress of others. That is why he is even soft-hearted than a newly formed, created butter. Therefore, such devotees or saints should be associated with. So we will continue with the glories of the saint, and we will elaborate on this first limb of devotional service and practice the same, and then we will proceed further towards the other limb. You all have been listening with so much patience. 2-3 hours passed, you don't even realize. Do you know that here it is already 2 p.m. now? So when the flow of this nectar flows, then we forget about the time, but we all are bound by the time factor. So it is necessary to conclude on time. So let me just stop here. You all have been listening with so much patience. I'm really grateful to all of you, and especially want to thank Yogesh Bhai, Naveen Bhai, Ramesh Bhai, Arvind Bhai, Sopa Bain, the whole family, Jit Bhai, Prabhudas Bhai, the whole family, all are sitting together and listening. And because the mellow is being presented in the Katha, so I'm really thankful to all, to you as well. So let's conclude the 4th day's Katha with Jai Jaikar.
भागवतम महापुराण की, श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की, श्री रामचंद्र भगवान